Hey, beloved ones. So, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about songwriting today because I haven't done a video on this yet. And I've shared a little of my journey in some of the songs I've written about what inspired them. But I wanted to actually talk a little bit more about how to write a song. And so, I know this feels pretty basic, but a song is made up of two elements, kind of three. It's the melody, which is the music, and the lyrics, so the words, basically poetry set to music, and then to a lesser degree, but also essential, the instrumentation, the accompaniment. So you have to be able to do all of those things in order to create a song. And usually, helping that process is playing an instrument of some kind. So if you don't play an instrument, you can still make melodies out of your head. I've done that in the car sometimes trying to figure out a new melody. But for me, it helps to have a chord progression and to work off of that. So that's usually my starting point, honestly, is I tend to write notes on my phone. And so I have a bank of lyric ideas. And then when I sit down to write, which I have a set aside time every week that I actually commit to sitting there for at least half an hour to an hour, maybe 2 hours if it's really productive. And I actually sit and I try to get these ideas into song form. One thing people don't talk about very often is the fact that songwriting is less like painting a painting and more like farming. It's more like tilling the ground. And so, even if in one of those songwriting sessions I do every week, I don't end up writing a song, what I often come away with is a progression that will later become a song, is some new chords I found just by playing around and trying things. As one of my heroes, Nicole Nordeman, said, part of how you find new things is by deliberately making mistakes. Is just, I know this isn't a chord, but what if it was? What if it sounds cool? And just trying different fingerings. And that's true if you play piano as well. And so to create new melodies, sometimes you have to create new chords. You have to try things and pretend like you're a beginner and you're just exploring the instrument. And I think that's a key element as well to songwriting, besides the fact that there's a lot of practice that has to go into it. There's a lot of tilling the ground, learning new chord progressions, is approaching it as play instead of a finished product. Because honestly, I am tempted so much of the time to measure my worth by my productivity. But if I'm not playing, if I'm not exploring new chord progressions, if I'm not just playing around with rhymes and writing lyrics, then I'm not going to write a song because I'm so focused on the product that it actually stunts my growth. And so for you, as you write, just remember that it's more like playing in a sandbox than it is about sitting down to write a report. It's it's more about the potentialities of all of these melodies and lyrics and being willing to make mistakes, being willing to sit down to write and write half a song and it never gets finished, and that's okay too. That getting good at anything involves a lot of faithfulness. It involves a willingness to commit to the process, even if you don't produce anything right away. And so part of that is committing to practicing, committing to taking a time to try to find new progressions, and being willing to listen to the movements of your own heart. So that involves journaling and being faithful to listen to what you're feeling and thinking. And it involves, at least for me, if a line comes to mind that I like, picking up my phone and writing a note about it and seeing where it goes. Just writing the next line, trying to find a rhyme, using rhyming dictionaries if I need to, and just exploring the movements of my own heart and what the Lord is teaching me in lyric form. And then taking those lyrics to that time of writing and saying, hey, how can I find a progression that makes sense, that feels emotionally right and resonant with these lyrics that I already have? And so that's my songwriting process. I hope that this demystifies it a little bit, because I think that a lot of people's perspective on songwriting is that you just kind of sit down and you write a song and it's like magic. And there is something to the fact that I feel like it's a miracle every time I write a song. But every song I write is the result of hours of tilling the ground, is the result of practice playing guitar and switching between chords faster and discovering new chords and writing lots and lots of lyrics. Sometimes I'll go back and look on my phone at these lyrics and I'll realize, oh, I had that idea, or I'll even pull a line from something that isn't a song by itself but ends up serving a song I'm working on. And so I just want to encourage you that if songwriting doesn't feel possible to you, it's probably because you have these expectations that you're just going to sit down and write a song. And realistically, that's not actually how it works. How it works is You write lyrics down as they come to you. You play an instrument faithfully and learn new chords that are going to create new possibilities for sounds you can make and melodies you can sing as you play with them. And also the other part of this that for me has been super helpful is community. I found the Art House North Songwriting Community on Facebook. It's a group that you can join. And I've gone to their feedback groups that Art House Dallas does every other month and actually gotten feedback from other songwriters. I've done Sarah Groves' songwriting workshop she does every year in August. I've done that twice now. And I've been a part of Hutchmoot, which is a gathering for Christian creatives the past couple of years when they've done that online. So I have been poured into. And I think that's one other thing that can really help this creative process is being sure that you are not only in community, but you are being poured into. You are receiving good teaching. You are reading books that are going to create insight. You are deep in scripture, which that convicts me to say that too. Am I soaking in scripture enough? Could I soak in it more? And you are growing, because if you're not growing, you're not going to write songs that are moving to people. And so as I go through this, I kind of process and I think out loud. So this probably feels a little scattered, but everything that I'm saying is part of my journey. So I'll kind of enumerate it for you. So first and foremost, practicing, tilling the ground, learning new chord progressions, and writing down lots of melody ideas, and finding a community of people where you can play the songs you're working on and get feedback, getting good instruction on how to create songs, and even just how to be a creative person and a believer in the ways that your faith is the lifeblood of your creativity. And growth, being sure that you are growing, that you are receiving good instruction and you're reading books and scripture. And so those are the things that have helped me and continue to help me. And I just want to encourage you that I am honestly really hard on myself. I was just telling someone today that whenever I post a video, I feel this accusation trying to silence me, that the enemy doesn't want you to write songs. He doesn't want you to write those truths out. And so it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a struggle. But that voice telling you that you have nothing to say, that voice telling you that you're no good, that is not the voice of God. And if you have community around you, if you have friends and they're encouraging you in this journey, then you have that safety net of people that will tell you the truth. And so if all of those people are saying you should go for this, then go for it. And don't let the enemy silence you. And so all of the voices that tell you you're no good, you are going to grow. You are in a process. But right now, you have everything that you need for this moment, for what God has called you to do. So write songs. And you know what? Sometimes you have to write a lot of mediocre songs to get to the good stuff. So be willing to keep going. Even if at first it doesn't feel like you're getting anywhere, you will get somewhere. God has given you things to say that only you can say. And that's what's so special. God works in these unique human vessels. We have his spirit like a treasure in a jar of clay. And so in all your frailty, in all the quirks of your voice, in all the ways that you feel like you're not enough, let the grace of God hold you together. My life verse is 2 Corinthians 12:9. Jesus said, "My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness." So you can do this. And it's going to be a journey, and it's going to take lots of time and lots of work. But it's work that's going to actually heal you even as you do it. So bring your heart to God. Bring your emotions to God. Be fully honest in your writing, because that is what people are going to resonate with. And keep going. Don't give up. Thank you so much for listening to these reflections. And please, if you have any questions about songwriting, ask me. I'll do my best to answer them. I often get stuck. I often struggle. I don't have it all together. But I hope that this at least gave you some encouragement. So thanks for watching, and much love to you all. Bye.